In a very shocking turn of events, Judgment Day have turned on Edge. Now, we knew coming into Monday Night Raw there was going to be another member joining the Judgment Day, the faction led by Edge, Damian Priest, and Rhea Ripley. We knew that someone was going to be joining. There was speculation it might have been Liv Morgan. There was speculation it might have been someone else. It ended up being the Prince himself, Finn Balor. So Finn Balor comes out, Edge is happy, Priest is happy, Ripley's happy. And it looks like Finn Balor has been brought to the dark side by Edge. And just as soon as you think that, Damian Priest says the Judgment Day needs to get rid of all weakness if it is to be successful in what it wants to do. And he looks at Edge and he says, and that weakness is you. And he proceeds to attack his former boss, his former leader in Edge. And it was just a 3-on-1 assault on Edge. After that, Balor hit a coup de grace. We saw Priest hit his choke slam, the Glasgow smile from Balor, as well as a concerto delivered to the head and neck area of Edge. Now, it's an interesting move. I'll put it out there. It's an interesting move. The night after the Judgment Day seemed as it was just catching some steam. They were a dominant force in that match last night. And suddenly, they abandoned their leader for another leader in Finn Balor. And don't get me wrong, I think this is really good for Finn Balor because he's a much more compelling heel than he is a face right now. And this makes him interesting. It shakes things up. It gives him a reason to talk every week on Monday Night Raw because the way WWE books, it just happens to be this way. Heels got the better promos. Heels get more promo time. And I will do anything to hear Finn Balor speak and speak as a heel. Look at his New Japan stuff. Captain freaking New Japan? Come on. Amazing promos. That being said, for Edge, I think this is likely them writing him off TV. It seemed like that. A concerto would likely write him off for at least a few months. Is he going to return as a face? Probably. It begs the question, though, what was the entire point of the Judgment Day and having Edge start this faction if just less than what's it been? It's only been not even 2 months, right? If just a short period later, 2 pay-per-views later, you're just going to change things up this drastically. Again, it's a choice. We'll see how it plays. Let it play out, they say. We'll let it play out, and we'll see what happens. But this is likely them writing Edge off of TV, and then he'll eventually come back, and there'll be a big match with Balor. Hopefully, it'll be a big match with Balor. That would be really cool to see, and there would be a reason for it instead of Edge just going crazy and hitting people with chairs. But that's also just his gimmick in 2022. Guys, let me know what you guys thought about this. Hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that. The champ is here. John Cena is officially returning to WWE on June 27th. Monday Night Raw, 20 years of John Cena. It is going to be his 20th anniversary in WWE. They're going to make a huge deal about it in Laredo, Texas. And it is interesting news given the fact that earlier on in the day, we had heard that John Cena was kind of teasing that he might want to go after the WWE United States Championship, which is currently being held by, guess who? Yes, his name is not Austin, just Theory. So, Theory versus Cena is a match that has been speculated for a while. It has been reported that Vince kind of views Theory as a young John Cena. For some reason, people have that comparison that they make. I don't really get it. Or I do get where that, I guess, comes from. I think it's completely inaccurate, but that's besides the point. The comparison's there, right? And that's the match. That's the match. Theory said if there's one guy he wants to face, it's John Cena. And Cena's hinting towards the United States title. SummerSlam is at the end of July. It gives Cena, in theory, a month to build up a match. Way more than enough time for them to build up a match for SummerSlam. And honestly, that's the match. For whatever reason, it's the match that people want to see. For whatever reason, it's the match that Theory wants. For whatever reason, it's likely the match that we are going to get. And you could argue that there are better ways to use John Cena. You could argue that there might be other people that he should go against. But when we want to talk about Cena and his legacy and what it means and what he should be doing now, I think putting John Cena in a position where, putting Theory in a position where he has to go toe-to-toe with arguably one of, if not the best of all time in John Cena. Like, when he gets there as a presenter, as a promo, there's not many people in WWE history that can touch John Cena. And that's one part of Theory's character and his package that I think is really missing. I don't think Austin Theory cuts good promos. Can he cut a promo? Sure. But that doesn't mean they're necessarily good or even great. If Austin Theory wants to take the next step, there is no better person to put him on the mic to challenge him, to make him step up to the plate, than the 16-time world champion, John Cena. And we're going to see if Austin Theory can actually see the Invisible Man himself, John Cena, on the mic. But it's going to be a test for him. It's going to be a huge test. And how this match goes, how the build to this match goes, and at the end of the day, the way the crowd reacts in the ring to the promos and the match itself is going to determine a lot. He's going to be helped a lot by the fact that John Cena is just that damn good. John Cena is just that damn good. Now, as far as who wins, I think that's a very long... We're still a way out from that. I think if WWE's smart, Theory should win because he had the big match against Pat McAfee at Mania. Part-timer, he lost. You don't want to put him in a position where he loses again. John Cena's a legacy cemented. John Cena will Hall of Famer 10 times over. One of the greatest of all time, 16-time champion. We get all that. But Theory has the potential to not only be around in WWE, but be a big get for them, a big star for them. And yeah, he has the potential to be a big star. That doesn't mean he's ready right now. It doesn't mean he's developed it all right. Hi, wrestling fans. Welcome back to OT Graps, the show where we grapple with the latest news from the world of professional wrestling. There's an opener for you. I'm joined, as always, by my wonderfully wonderful, yes, I use wonderful and wonderfully like 3 separate times there, co-host, Trevor. Not Trevor, Trevor. Trevor, how you doing, man?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm great, and you know what's even greater? The wonderful people like MGT and CC who are in the chat. Guys, if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell if you're just joining us for the first time. Also, be sure to check out the link that is pinned in the chat. The pinned link is a GoFundMe for Don West. For those of you who don't know, Don West is the former color commentator for Impact Wrestling, for TNA for a very long time. Amazing dude. Could sell. He single-handedly kept TNA in business, like by selling everything. He's been dealing with lymphoma for a while. A few months ago, it was found out that it looks like the tumor is coming back and his cancer is coming back. And this is a fundraiser, GoFundMe for him. So instead of, spending the $5 on a candy bar, $5 for a candy bar, inflation's a bitch, isn't it? Instead of spending $5 on a drink or on coffee or on whatever, please do check out that link and understand if you can't donate. But we highly encourage you to spread it to your friends, spread it on social media. Don West is an amazing individual who has helped out a lot of people in pro wrestling, and it's time for some good karma to come his way. I'll be making a donation on my behalf and on behalf of Real Take. Like this is genuinely bigger than wrestling. Go check it out. John Don West, again, really cool dude. And it's great to see that the wrestling world is actually coming around and helping him out as well.
Absolutely. What's up, MGT? What's up, CC?
Yep, CC, MGT were in the chat. MGT made a good point that we'll talk about earlier about the turn of the Judgment Day. The Judgment Day, a heel faction turned heel
Heel
somehow.
twice.
That happened.
Yeah, I
twice.
don't know how that happens, but
It was a triple turn.
In the world of WWE, anything is possible.
Absolutely. MGT says CC says, by the way, I entered a contest to go to WWE event in Wales. Wish me luck. Well, good luck, CC. We hope you get that.
Wales.
Well, Trevor. We got a lot to talk about, obviously. Hell in a Cell. We're going to be talking about injuries in pro wrestling, which, by the way, I did talk about on the first ever episode of Wrestling with Omer. Check it out, guys. It's in the archives. But we got so much to talk about here. So many injuries in the world of pro wrestling. So many main high-level stars injured. And why that's happening. We'll get Trevor's take on it mostly because you guys have already heard my spiel about it. I don't need to go off about it. But so much to talk about. Trevor, I do want to start off with a little bit of a new thing. Let me know what you think about this.
All right.
We're going to go with OT icebreakers. All right? OT icebreakers. So every week from now on, we're going to start off with an icebreaker. We'll alternate as far as who asks. I'll start by asking this week. Get your ideas. And just basically a question that you have not told me beforehand about pro wrestling that, whatever you want it to be. It can be like, who's your favorite shitty wrestler? Who's your favorite crappy wrestler? There you go. Don't say what I just said. Who's your favorite crappy wrestler? Who's what's your favorite terrible pay-per-view? Things like that. So think like icebreakers. I got one for you today. Are you ready, Trevor, for your OT icebreaker? All right, Trevor. First ever OT icebreaker is, what is the best Raw theme of all time and why?
Theme song with the intro?
Yep. Don't you dare tell me Nickelback.
Oh, no. Actually, I do like the Nickelback one, but that wasn't the one I was thinking about. It was... trying to remember exactly which time it was. I think it was back like after Raw's War when what was it? How did it go? You get the money,
okay. You like that's the Ruthless Aggression Raw.
Yeah, that's
that's like you get the law, the hoe, the machine, and the Majin Buu, and we say nothing forever. Yeah. I love that one too. That's the one I grew up on. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to say that's probably the one that you saw more of anyway.
Yeah,
you saw some of the Raw as War one, but you didn't really see that as much as you saw.
Like my first memories of the Raw theme are you got the law, the hog and the song, the monophone. Like that. I missed the whole thorn in your ass era.
You missed that one.
Yeah, thorn in your ass. Like I was like, what? It took me a very long.
It was one of the first ones that you saw like a live band play it like on TV. Like you knew a band came up with it. It was one of the first ones.
That was really cool. I mean, the thorn in your eye though is probably like, I don't know. I have a very hot take about this one. Like genuinely, I think that when they did the brand split again in 2016, that song slapped. Like people, that is an underrated Raw theme.
That was the Thorn in Your Eye one, right?
No. In 2016, Thorn in Your Eye was the Attitude Era. You got the hum and a fun and a son of it.
That was right before the one I like.
Yeah. So my favorite one was the one that went, you got the word on the feet, you getting all that you please, you want more, you'll get nothing from me.
Is that like, that's not Papa Roach, is it?
I have no idea. All I know is it slaps.
Because there was one that Papa Roach did for SmackDown. Yeah, they did one for SmackDown.
They did one for SmackDown, really?
Yeah, they did.
I don't remember that.
I'm trying to remember the name of the song right now. If I heard the song, I would know which one it was.
No, is that the To Be Loved? But hold up. Oh shit! I'm not gonna get copyrighted for this. Yeah, I'm gonna get copyrighted.
Yeah, you don't worry.
Oh, is that the
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Fingers crossed for CC, by the way, in the chat. So there we go. That's a mess
Yeah,
of
I
a
like that
segment
one.
right
Yeah.
there. But hey, it is fun. We got to get some
It's
singing in.
exactly. When do we get the love, the money, and when do we get to do that?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's still better than the SmackDown Juventud song.
Oh God. Yeah, it is.
Juventud.
Move it. Yeah, it's
Hey man. Vince loves him some Speaking of Juventud, quick aside, the backstage story about Juventud, why he had such heat backstage in WWE, like during his 2006 run.
Not totally sure. No.
Okay, so story time with Omar Q, baby. So that's another money with these segments. There we go. Story time with Omar Q, baby. So as the story goes, allegedly. Juventud obviously thinks that he's a huge star. And when he came in 2006, that was the time when he came in with Hypnosis and Bret Hart, I love you to death. Hypnosis.
Yes. Called Psychosis.
Yeah. When he came in with, I believe it was Psychosis and Super Crazy as the Mexico, still one of the most racist gimmicks in WWE history, which is saying a lot. So back then, like, Juventud apparently heard Vince McMahon, like, he was giving like Batista some gruff. I think it was like in Gorilla. He was talking to Batista. He's like, "Boy, you better shape up, pal, or I'm gonna give Juventud the title." And it was like obviously a joke to everyone who was in Gorilla except for Juventud Guerrera. Juventud was like, "Yeah, Vince thinks I can be world champion." And he just ran with it, and he got so much heat for it. It was amazing.
Hilarious.
MGT in the chat, by the way, says, "Are you ready for a good time? Let's get ready for the nightlife." I don't know.
I remember that one.
See, now
I remember that one.
Well, yeah, you remember it more than I did because I'm doing like the South Park montage.
I just don't remember the melody for it, but I remember the words. But I think it's the one I'm talking about.
I'm doing the South Park montage song. It's a montage, country movie montage. What a time, guys! As always, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Again, pinned link in the chat is a fundraiser for Don West and his cancer treatment and recovery efforts and paying for all of that. Please consider donating or sharing that link around on Twitter or wherever. Let's get that spread around so as many people as possible see it. Let's start off, Trevor, by talking about the pay-per-view. Okay, be totally honest with me. Be totally honest. It's okay if you didn't, because I didn't for the most part until like... Actually, I didn't even watch the full thing. I did not watch the whole thing, all right? I'll have you know, I did not watch the whole thing. Did you watch Hell in a Cell?
I watched the whole thing yesterday.
Mark. Anyway. Yeah, so, yeah, look. Dude. I put this segment on the show, and I didn't even watch the whole thing. I mean, I
said, actually, you know what? Yeah. Let me check it out just to see, and I skipped past a lot of the matches, though, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, one match I did not skip over was the opener. Let's talk about it, Trev. Bianca Belair versus Asuka versus Becky Lynch. 18 minutes and 56 seconds of absolute pure fire pro wrestling.
Great match.
Triple threat match for the Raw Women's World Championship. Although I don't think they call it the World Championship. I call it the World Championship because it should be called a World Championship because that's what it's supposed to be. Anyway, Raw Women's World title. Bianca Belair defended successfully against Asuka and Becky Lynch in a barn burner of a match. There's no better way to open this show. You could argue there was no better way to close this show. That's not taken away from the main event. I just think this was the best match on the card. Your thoughts, Trevor?
Oh, I agree. It was a great match. I thought it did the pay-per-view justice. Coming on first. It was amazing match. Absolutely amazing match.
Yeah, I mean, and look, for anyone out there who says that, because you remember a few weeks ago we had that weird debate with people in the chat who were like, Oh my God, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch isn't better than Bianca Belair. Or Bianca Belair isn't better than Becky Lynch. Like we had a bit of a back and forth. It's matches like this that make you say, "Who freaking cares?" They're
Exactly.
both great wrestlers.
They're both great
And
wrestlers.
let me tell you something. You know who's getting lost in this? We got to give Asuka some love too. Asuka comes
Poor
back
Asuka.
from injury, and she ain't lost a step, Trevor. Oh my,
Yeah,
this was beautiful. This was absolutely
it was a great
stupendous.
match.
Oh my God, the near falls. You know what I loved about this match the most, though? What I loved the most was the fact that in the end, Bianca Belair won by outsmarting Becky Lynch, because this is something that WWE almost never does. They almost never make the babyface look like a smart tactical opportunist, which they should be. They're trying to defend their title, and Bianca Belair outsmarted Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch was rightfully. This is honestly, I think Bianca Belair is an amazing pro wrestler. She's an amazing performer, and she's got this organic charisma. Like, she just has it, right? She's just got it. Is she the best promo? Not yet. But no, she's got this organic likability, right? Likability that transcends that. So she has it all. And on top of that, this is like the first time that I've seen, at least, or that she has outsmarted a heel in this way. Yep. And it's done wonders for her, I think, position, for the way people view her, and just her overall story. It's amazing. 5 stars. I don't care what. 5 stars for this match.
Absolutely. A great
50
match.
50 in a Tokyo Dome.
Great match, like you said. Like, I loved how it made Bianca look strong without making Becky look weak. It didn't even make Asuka look weak. It just made him look like she just got outsmarted. It did a great job of doing what it was supposed to do without degrading any of the wrestlers.
It was amazing.
It was an absolute great match. And
book this again.
Exactly.
I hate
I'll
rematches.
watch this again.
Book this again. Like,
I'll watch this one again.
Yep. I mean, this was great. I think we can all agree on that. One match that I think you and I would never want to watch again. You're funny. I didn't even watch it the first time around. Bobby Lashley apparently defeated Omos and MVP in a 2-on-1 handicap match. Even with MVP by his side, he can't get Omos against Lashley. 8 minutes, 25 seconds, which was about 8 minutes, 21 seconds too long for Omos to be in the ring. Trevor, you actually watched this match, so take it away.
You ever see a big, slow guy, like, just walk? That's kind of what this match looked like. It was just.
I have seen you walk before.
But, dude, it was so slow. It was like, okay, so we did get MVP rapping, which was.
Yo, wait, I did see that promo, like the thing they put on Twitter before. Oh, that was heat.
That was great.
More MVP rap promos.
But other than that, it was terrible. The match was awful. And anyone that saw this can probably agree, if they're not a WWE mark, that this was a terrible match. Like, and unfortunately, almost
you know that the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks wasn't as good as this.
Almost is not getting any better, unfortunately.
Omos could have put thumbtacks on his boot if he wanted to.
Well, why didn't he? It would have made for a much more compelling match.
Dude, because he's not a gimmicky spot monkey. Bray Wyatt should have joined the Nexus.
Oh, God. This is terrible. This match was awful, dude. It was I don't even want to talk about it anymore. It's just terrible.
I'll take your word for it. I'll take your word for it, and I will never watch it.
Alexander came in and helped him. So
yeah. Again, another match that I didn't really watch too much. I watched the ending. I watched literally the last minute of this match. Kevin Owens versus Ezekiel, not Elias. 9 minutes 20 seconds. KO got the win.
Almost.
KO got the win. Oh, that was an interesting call.
More entertaining than Almost than Bobby Lashley. Way more entertaining than Almost Bobby Lashley.
I mean, dude, you could put me on OnlyFans. It would be more entertaining than Almost and Bobby Lashley.
I'm not sure about that.
There's some people who disagree with you. Hey, I never said what I was doing on OnlyFans. Like, I could very well make an OnlyFans account and have solely wholesome content on there. In fact, I might do that.
You know what? I might make OnlyFans and just make sandwiches.
People do that. You know, people actually do that, right?
Yeah, I know. There's a chef
like,
that has he has an OnlyFans account and he makes food on there.
It's crazy. It's like I think it was something crazy like 34% or something like that of the accounts are actually like just like Patreon, except like not, you know, the content that people generally associate with OnlyFans. Like, it was just crazy. But anyway, Hell in a Cell. It's OnlyFans. I don't know how we got there.
That was
we are going to hell. Anyway, speaking of hell, Judgment Day defeated AJ Styles, Finn Balor, and Liv Morgan in a 6-person mixed
match
tag.
I could not care about. It was all right.
Continue.
It was okay. It wasn't, like I said, it wasn't a bad match, but it wasn't a great match. You got to see some of Liv Morgan, which was good. Balor. It was so weird. It's so weird too. Like, I mean, I know we're gonna talk about this later, but it's so weird for like to see like Balor join them when he didn't do that. But anyway, it was a match. It happened.
Yeah, I mean, we can talk about what happened the night after. First, MGT in the chat says at least Omos did not get pinned or submitted, and it was nice to see Bobby Lashley win. The smile on his face said it all. He won at WrestleMania. MGT. He beat Omos at WrestleMania. Like, clean as a whistle. Didn't even get help. Jobbed him out.
Yeah.
Send him down to OVW. Did you know that OVW has a show on Netflix?
No.
Wild, right? OVW has a show on Netflix. Or sorry, they're getting a show on Netflix.
Oh, almost said,
which is wild. I don't care.
I didn't know OVW still existed.
I'm hip, but they landed a deal with Netflix, though. So they're going to be producing wrestling content on Netflix, and it's... wow.
There you go. That's all you can say about it at this point.
OVW got on Netflix before we did? We're doing something wrong. We're obviously doing something wrong.
Dude. We're not doing something right. That's what
we are. Yeah, and you could be doing something right though if you hit that pinned link in the chat and donate to Don West's GoFundMe. Again, I'm gonna keep plugging it. I think Don West is an incredible human being, and again, if you can just send it around to your friends, family, social media, wherever, that's also just as good. Let's spread the word and get this man the funds that he critically needs to fight this terrible disease. Moving on, Madcap Moss, Happy Corbin. No holds barred, Trevor.
To make it more interesting, how do you make a no holds barred match boring?
Put Baron Corbin versus Madcap Moss. That's how.
There you go. They found the science behind it, because it was boring. Like,
I watched this match. I specifically because MGT told me to. I watched this match. I understand why people thought that Madcap came off as good.
Yeah.
I didn't care. They didn't have me. They just did not have me. Did not care. Could not care. Could not be bothered. It sucks. I award you no points, Vince McMahon, and may God have mercy on your soul. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it.
One of the greatest monologues in any movie.
Billy was right though. A no would have sufficed. Like, a no would have been enough. Like, he did not need to do that was a lot. MGT in the chat says, do you think that Judgment Day versus AJ, Finn, and Liv could have been inside Hell in a Cell? That would have added an interesting dynamic to that match, and I think would have been cool.
Actually, that it probably needed, honestly.
My thing though is, if you're here's my thing though. I actually prefer that they did not do that, because I don't like the fact that WWE, one, has a pay-per-view that is Hell in a Cell. And look, if you have a pay-per-view that's called Hell in a Cell. That's one thing. All right, cool. Whatever gimmicks, you gotta sell. You gotta sell it, right? Like AEW has an event that's called Blood and Guts, where they sell a match that is called Blood and Guts. Okay, fine. It'd be like that. But what I have hated over the past number of years is the fact they've had like two. There was one where it had 3 Hell in a Cell matches, Trevor. 3 Hell in a Cell matches in one night.
Wasn't it 4 at one point too? I felt like there was a pay-per-view that was like 4 Hell in a Cell matches.
4 Hell in a Cell matches. I
might be wrong.
Thank God I missed that pay-per-view.
But I thought it was 4. I might be wrong.
That's bad. That's I'm not gonna look it up. I trust you. That's bad. But look, I mean, I like the fact that there was only 1 Hell in a Cell match. It kept the importance of the match and made it feel special. You know, like you had to wait to see the Hell in a Cell. You had to wait. It built up the anticipation. I liked it. But if there's a gimmick that fits Hell in a Cell, it's Judgment Day.
Yeah, I thought that would have made the match more interesting. Yeah, I think you're right, MGT. I think it was 3, but for some reason I thought it was 4. I don't know. It might. I'm probably wrong, but
Vince McMahon is watching this right now. Oh, damn it. We're going to have 6 Hell in a Cell matches in one night. It's going to be hell.
You're complaining about 3? We're going to have 6.
Hell in a Cell. It's going to be, and it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. It's going to be called, Hell in
Tuesday
the
afternoon.
Hell in the desert. It's going to be hot.
I just realized what I just said was fucked up. Pardon my language.
On a Tuesday afternoon.
Yeah, you said what's it going to be called? I said a regular Tuesday afternoon.
Oh,
Saudi Arabia is always hell.
There goes our chances at that Saudi blood money, Trevor.
Yeah, man, we messed that up a long time ago.
Yeah, you know, Vince is over there dancing. Here come the Saudis. Here we go. Money talks.
Oh, dear.
Anyway,
there's another match we can care about.
Theory versus Mustafa Ali. I watched this match, and Mustafa Ali comes out dressed in these wonderful I say wonderful a lot, don't I? Mustafa Ali comes out and he's got these Chicago branded tights on, and it's in Chicago. The crowd is electric. They love Mustafa Ali. And Austin Theory jobs him out in 10 minutes.
You know, there are certain wrestlers that benefit from being in the ring with other wrestlers. And you're like, oh, he's not great, but they had a good match together. Theory couldn't sell Owen Hart if he wrestles him. Theory is that bad. And I tried to give him credit. I really tried to give him credit because you have shot him down since day one. And I've been trying to give him credit. But he is terrible. He had a few decent spots, but he's not good.
Theory to me is like the new Baron Corbin, which is hilarious because Baron Corbin he was on this pay-per-view. He's still like a mainstay on WWE TV in that he gives me go-away heat. But there's something about him that's actually talented. Theory has some talent. It's not on the mic. Don't give that man a mic. He can't talk.
No.
But, I mean, can he go in the ring? Sure. Sometimes when he wants to. I don't think he wanted to last night or on Sunday.
And that's my thing with him. Like I said, I've seen matches where he's done well, right? And then I've seen matches when I'm like, I don't really want to watch this. He can't hold the guy. Because the match against Cody Rhodes, I thought Cody outshined him completely, which he's supposed to. But I thought he outshined him completely. And I'm like, I don't get this. This doesn't make sense.
Yeah. I mean, and also beating Mustafa Ali again in Chicago. This is like the third or fourth time they've done this. They've had Mustafa Ali come out to a hero's welcome in Chicago, and Vince has gone, Mustafa, you're going to lose. It's going to get awesome. Look, they're going to heat.
You know they did that to Bailey one time, too, in her hometown.
I'm sure it happened more than once.
I'm talking about one time in particular, but yeah.
Sure, it happened way more than one time. A random question: Have you seen the episode of Baywatch where Hulk Hogan, Macho Man Randy Savage, Kevin Sullivan, and Ric Flair go to the beach on Baywatch?
Unfortunately, yes.
It's like the best thing ever. Like it's like a friend recommended.
It's the best, worst thing ever. It really is.
No, it is the best thing ever. You know how I feel about the Dungeon of Doom. You know how I feel about the Dungeon of Doom.
Yeah,
Hey, it's like the greatest. It was like also, you know what's hilarious? Like, or you know what's really cool about it? Like, there are like multiple promos on that show, multiple promos that I've never seen. Like no one, like that, basically unseen promos from a lot of wrestling fans, like on that episode. Like Flair cuts a promo, Sullivan cuts a promo, Hogan cuts like, oh brother, CJ brother, you got a brother. Ask the Hoff, the Hoff and the Hulk brother, the Hoffster and the Hulkster.
It was awful. It was so bad.
It was so bad, Trevor, it was so bad. Kevin Sullivan comes out. It's a limo, right? They drive onto the beach. Kevin Sullivan.
Did you just watch this recently?
Yes, I watched it like 2 days ago. Kevin Sullivan comes out. He comes out of this limo on the beach in Baywatch. He comes out on the limo, and he's like, I knew this little Kevin Sullivan tax masker thing, and he's so small, you just want to put him in your pocket. Anyway, so he comes out, and he's wearing a suit, and he's got the Taskmaster makeup on.
Yeah,
it's like a black suit in like the middle of like Miami or wherever this beach is in Baywatch, and you're just like, who let this man leave the house like looking like this? And like Vader comes out, and Vader's wearing like a V-neck, and he's got the mask on, and I'm like,
ridiculous.
Who goes to the beach like this?
Apparently they do. Apparently. Dude, it was. I remember watching that episode when it was. God makes me old. When it was brand new, when it came out, and I'm like, why? Because they talked about it all the time. Oh, watch this week, Baywatch. Blah, blah, blah. They advertised it for like a week or two straight, and like I'm watching it, and I'm like, why?
Trevor, you know what the secret to long-term success in pro wrestling is?
What?
The secret to long-term success. If you want to be over in 20 years, be shit right now. Anyway, it's prove me wrong.
True words spoken.
Prove me wrong. Because like a lot. WCW.
Do you remember Hulk Hogan's other show, Thunder in Paradise?
Oh, I watched a few episodes. I want to rewatch some of those. I watched those like back in 2014.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, brother.
Boat? Oh my god. It was.
I stand by this. I hate Hulk Hogan, obviously. Mr. Nanny was a good movie. Mr. Nanny was a good movie. It's my wrestling hot take of the century. I like
Mr. Nanny was hilarious. I actually like Suburban Commando. But...
come on, it had they had George Jefferson. They had George Jefferson, damn it.
They had Sherman Helmsley. They did have Sherman Helmsley.
Yeah, they had George Jefferson. And they had the dude from Spaceballs. And no, they did not have Sherman Hemsley before people say. They did not have the actor. They had George Jefferson. That was George Jefferson.
He was not Sherman Hemsley. He was George Jefferson. Sorry.
100%.
Oh, God.
By the way, I have a story to tell you off screen, like about my friend who got the Jeffersons and another show mixed up.
We'll talk about it.
It was not great. And he just carried on conversation. I was just like, that's the wrong.
No,
that's
sir.
the
No,
wrong.
sir.
That's the wrong. That's the wrong African American centric show. Oof, buddy, it was not great, and it was like not even. One was in the night. We'll get to it. I'm not gonna talk about it on air. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad, though, bro. MGT in the chat says WWE should have made Mustafa Ali look strong in defeat. I mean, they made him look crap in defeat. So
they did.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I agree. Main event time: Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins. Cody was boasting a just horrific torn pec. He tore the news broke that he tore his pec. We'll talk about the injury and the long-term ramifications of that in our next segment. But Trevor, Cody comes into this match with a torn pectoral muscle, and he goes. He wrestles. What do you think?
hell of a match. Hell of a match. I mean, with someone with the heart as big as Cody, like you expected something spectacular. You saw a good match. You saw a damn good match. I feel like if he didn't tear his pectoral, um, Seth Rollins probably was going to pick up the win. But it was a good match. It was the spot where Seth came out in the polka dot outfit like Daddy Rhodes did and everything, and then he had the belt same color. It was awesome. It was awesome. I like
it was absolutely spectacular. I mean, we'll talk about the injury and all that, but I will say this. Man, like kudos to Cody Rhodes. I could not have done what he did. Like, I am not even gonna pretend. I'd be like, I would, dude. Oh my, could you imagine being like, oh yeah, sure, I can go, and then getting out there, and you're like, oh, I have to go on with Seth in Hell in a Cell, and like you're standing in. If I was Cody Rhodes, I just leave. I just like walk out.
I just leave.
Pull a Jeff Hardy. I just be like, it's time to go. Like,
screw it. I'm done. Because dude, the interesting part to me was like when he took his jacket off and the whole crowd was like silent for like 30 minutes.
It would. Like, that's the thing. They weren't even like, oh. It was just like, ooh. It's like George Takei from Family Guy. Oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah, it's not great. I mean, but yeah, MGT says the pec was completely torn to the bone, so there was no further damage to do it. I really think Cody's always booked to win. I mean, he was always booked to win because you got to move on from this feud. But
exactly,
I do think like I have asked like friends of mine who are doctors about this. And again, I'm not saying that they're more expert than I am. They're more experts than I am, definitely. Yeah. But you can like two things that are possible when you have a completely torn
injure
muscle.
The tissue around that, right?
You can injure the muscles, the tissue around that. You can injure other parts of your body because you're putting more pressure on. Like Cody, he's not using his right arm, right? He's putting way more pressure on the left side of his body. He's bumping more on that than he normally would. Like there are things that can happen. On top of that, there's also you can do more damage. Like here's the thing. You can't you already tore it to the bone. You can't put it back on and re-tear it anymore.
Right.
But what can happen is that you can aggravate the part that's torn still, and it can take you longer to heal from. So if I was Cody, I would not wrestle. Like genuinely, I would not. I also think, and this is getting into our next segment a little bit, I think that him wrestling with this set a bad precedent for the rest of the roster. Because I think that I am not saying it's Cody Rhodes' decision. I get that. But I feel like this should have been a situation where WWE kind of stepped in and said, dude, you don't need to wrestle. Because if they had put out this picture that I have up right now of what his pec looked like before the match and said, Cody can't wrestle, no serious person would blame Cody Rhodes or WWE. No serious person would.
I mean, honestly, it doesn't even look like a bruise. It looks like a huge hematoma, to be honest with you.
It literally looks like the thing Malachi Black has growing on his face.
Yeah, it's true, but it literally does not look like a bruise.
Trevor, full circle. The mist, the powerful mist. The biggest defection of 2022. The biggest defection of 2022 is Malachi Black's gimmick.
I hate you so much. Oh man.
Oh man.
I guess we can go to the next segment now.
Can we? I don't know. Should we? I don't know. Guys, hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell.
Going to the Cody Rhodes injury segment.
I mean, it's not just Cody Rhodes. Corey Rhodes. My name is. I don't even know what I'm saying anymore, guys. Put your questions in the chat.
It looks pretty bad.
Guys. Really it ain't great, Jack, brother. Hulk Hogan would have kicked out of this, brother.
Hulk Hogan would have came out there with no head and still no soul.
Hulk Hogan has no soul. What did I say? I don't know. Guys, I'm sorry. I'm putting something together real quick so we can do this segment. Buddy daddy doom, buddy dum. All right, cool. I think we're good. So, Trevor, as you may know, there have been a shit ton of injuries. I need to stop. There have been a lot of injuries in professional. I need to be a professional. There have been a lot of injuries in professional wrestling. Most notably, we talked about Cody, but also the AEW World Champion CM Punk announced on Rampage that he has suffered a broken foot. He's going to need surgery, and he is going to be out for a while, an indefinite amount of time. In his stead, there is going to be a championship eliminator tournament to decide who is going to be the interim champion. And because AEW did such a bad job of explaining what that eliminator is going to look like, in case you're wondering, boom, big shout out to Jelly Janela on Twitter for pulling this, not Joey, Jelly Janela on Twitter for putting this together. This is basically how it's going to be decided. I will talk about the injuries as a whole in pro wrestling in a little bit. I do want to talk about the Punk one because it just has so many massive ramifications on the industry. What did you think, man? Like I thought like everyone thought that we were just gonna get the summer of Punk. It was just starting to rev up. It's gonna be like, the finals are over. AEW is gonna go all in on putting on amazing shows to get as many ratings as possible. And now they're hit with this.
I don't know if anyone else paid attention like I did, but after that promo that MJF did, and you had Punk run out there, you saw Punk limping. Punk was limping the entire time when he was out there. Now, if you go back and look at it, Punk was limping. I was like, oh, I hope he just like sprained an ankle or something. Yeah, I hope it's nothing serious. But I saw him limping. I had no clue that it was going to be an injury, but I did see him limping, so I was, kind of, invested and wondering how he was going to do. But yeah, man, we were just talking about the Summer of Punk. We were just talking about how it looks like they were gearing MJF and Punk up for a pay-per-view squabble, but now we're getting something totally different, which they can still work. I mean, maybe it's going to be good, but it is a little disappointing. I'm pretty sure a lot of the fans are a little disappointed, but don't be too disappointed because they did not take the belt off him. That's why they're having the interim champion. They did not take the belt off him. They did not strip him of the championship. He is still the champion for all that matters, all things considered. So we could get some good matches coming up when he comes back. So,
I mean, we're going to get some good matches in between there too, because
absolutely.
Trev, I don't care when anyone. I know someone's gonna win that battle royal tomorrow night and face John Moxley in the main event. Moxley's going to win. Tanahashi and Goto are gonna wrestle at New Japan Dominion. Tanahashi's gonna win. We are going to get John Moxley versus Tanahashi. Literally one of the biggest dream matches that I think people forgot about because Moxley's been talking about this for years, ever since he left WWE.
He's been trying to get Tanahashi in the ring for a while now.
And this is the way he's going to get it. AEW Forbidden Door, the main event. Hiroshi Tanahashi taking on John Moxley to determine the interim AEW World Heavyweight Champion who will challenge CM Punk for the unified AEW World title with CM Punk. Like Excalibur just like starts like huffing.
This is gonna be a great match.
It's gonna be fantastic. Match. I will say this because I want to get your thoughts.
Have they announced that battle royal yet? Who's gonna be in it?
I mean, it's gonna be Bear Country. It's gonna be Bear Country and a bunch of jobbers. You know what it's gonna be. I promise you this. I promise. Bunch of jobbers. Dante Martin. All Ego Ethan Page and
Adam Page will probably be in it.
No, I don't think Hanger's going to be in it because the match for Hangman Adam Page, or actually they might do Hangman versus Moxley would actually make sense because they kind of they already had that. Remember? They did going into Full Gear. It was when Hangman returned as the Joker, he came and he took John Moxley's chance to become the number one contender for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. That could be interesting. I could see Hanger winning that. That would be cool. But Hangman is already. But I feel like that would be a little too predictable because it's already like basically confirmed. It's not confirmed. It's been reported that it's Hangman versus Okada at Forbidden Door,
Ooh.
which the match that I didn't even know I needed. Let's go, bring it on.
But I need it.
Kazuchika, I don't care. I mean, we've said this before, right? It's like Kazuchika Okada versus Broom headlines Forbidden
Pretty
Door.
much.
Like, let's go, let's do it. It is like he's amazing. Like him and Kenny Omega can literally work with anyone.
Absolutely.
Here's actually something I do want to get your thoughts on, and it has to do with the interim championship, the concept of the interim championship, because I like the fact that AEW is trying to do something different that, more combat sports do, like MMA with the interim title.
Right.
But one thing that I noticed when they did this for the TNT title, remember back when Cody, I don't know what it was, he missed some time. There was something. Someone had an illness in the Rhodes family. I'm not sure what it was, but he missed some time, and they crowned that interim champion that ended up being Sammy Guevara, but they didn't count the interim title reign as a world title reign or as a title reign, which I thought was weird because you won it. You won it.
Right.
It's still a title, but I don't know. I mean, I think that it should
now
count.
in MMA they count that, don't they? If I'm not
pretty
mistaken.
sure they do. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they do. Yeah. Yeah, because you do win a world title. So, I mean, I think they should count it, and that's just me. But what do you think? What do you think about the concept of an interim champion in general? I'm interested in your thoughts.
So, like you said, I think it's interesting to see a wrestling promotion do it because it's something different, right? It's not something that any wrestling promotion has done that I've ever seen anyway. And honestly, I thought that maybe New Japan would do something like this before any other, because they're kind of up here when it comes to certain things, and a lot of the American promotions are a little behind. So I would think it would happen someplace like that. But the whole concept of an interim champion to me makes sense. It's fun. It's interesting. That way, when the champion comes back, he's still considered champ, but he still has to wrestle or fight that interim champions, and that always makes for interesting combat, especially in MMA. Like, it's always interesting to see the actual champion come to fight the interim champion, and it's always a great match. So I agree with it. I think it makes sense. I like it. I like AEW is doing their own spin on things. I like that they're not like regurgitating things that they've seen in the past. Not completely anyway. But I like the new spin on things. I do.
Do you imagine Punk? I like the concept that they're not vacating the belt.
Yeah.
I like that concept because it does kind of mess title reigns up. Although I don't know, like maybe like every once in a while you can. I don't know. I like this. It builds anticipation. There's stakes to it now. There's more stakes than you thought, and it's gonna be great. The ratings for Dynamite though are gonna be trash tomorrow night though. Absolute garbage,
absolutely.
No matter what.
Oh,
They're going up against the
they are.
NBA Finals, the Warriors and the Celtics. Ain't nobody watching Dynamite. They're gonna get They're gonna get rampage numbers. They're gonna get rampage numbers tomorrow night.
I'm watching it after the game.
Hell, I think I'm live streaming the game, so I'm not even gonna be watching Dynamite. So I'm gonna have to. Oh, there's gonna be like Cincy's gonna be in there like,
Oh my God, John Moxley is lost.
like in the chat, like ruining it for me. Don't you dare ruin Dynamite for me, Cincy. You're not even
I'm
here.
gonna be watching it after the playoff game because
I gotta ask you a question. Has kind of something to do with AEW. I love this new free-flowing format of the show, by the way. I just love talking.
Me too.
Anyway, I just want to ask you. Chris Jericho is a wizard.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Chris Jericho. That is the question. Chris Jericho is a wizard?
Yes.
Say what you want about Jericho. Like, he has time and again made the case. Literally, I don't think you can have a Mount Rushmore of pro wrestling without Chris Jericho. I know that's like a lot of people are gonna hate on that and be like, oh, he's not even close to the box office success. I'm like, there's nobody who has had the longevity, who has reinvented themselves to being a main eventer multiple times in so many ways than Chris Jericho.
The only
Led the
other
charge
person
in multiple
who's
companies. Like, come on.
exactly the only other person who's continued to wrestle as long as Chris Jericho, and I don't think he wrestled as long, and he definitely wasn't on top as long, was Paul Orndorff. Paul Orndorff wrestled for years and didn't stop until the 2000s, actually. If I'm not mistaken.
Hey, Ricky Morton, hey, the Midnight Express is still wrestling.
Yeah, but they had a layover. They laid off for a little bit and got back into it. Paul never stopped. And same thing with Jerry Lawler for a long time. Jerry did it for a long time too.
Yeah. Lawler's still wrestling.
Is he? No, I thought his heart condition wasn't allowing him.
No, he wrestled after that heart condition. Remember, he wrestled Cody when Cody was like Impact champion.
That's right. He sure did. He sure did.
He's he's amazing. I love Cody. He's the you want to think about. He is a legend. I to this day, the only person that I would in wrestling that I would let bust me open is Jerry the King Lawler.
Absolutely.
That's a story. You can get crowned by the king.
I actually met him, and he is an absolute amazing human, and he's funny as hell. he's hilarious. He was there with his dad jokes. Fourth wife at the time.
Hey, Jerry Lawler doesn't have wives; he has girlfriends.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Allegedly, like I know.
MGT his dad jokes are legendary.
MGT in the chat asks, "How long will the game take?" I think the game starts at like 8 p.m. It's not going until like 11. At the earliest, and it's because it's the finals. They're gonna extend the commercials are way longer. Like they're like, let's get ESPN's like capitalism is afoot during those games. Like that's like so. Whenever I'm like streaming an NBA game on ESPN, like I say that every time because ESPN they are more clickbaity than I am. Like they'll do the thing where they go commercial for 4 minutes, or sorry for like 3 minutes. They'll come back for a 30-second thing. Be like, oh, the NBA Finals highlight. Look at this, and then we'll be back in 3 minutes. And I was like, oh, damn it, they got me. It's like capitalism is afoot in those games.
It's gonna be on for a while.
It's gonna be on for a while. Like, I'm not gonna watch Dynamite live. I'm sorry. I want to. It's gonna be like I'll watch it afterwards, but not gonna be able to watch that live. MGT says, to be honest with you, one of the best Hell in a Cell matches in history, and for Cody to put on that performance literally with one arm, massive credit to Rollins as well. Massive credit to both of them. I do think it was one of the better Hell in a Cell matches. Like, it was. I mean, it depends on your perspective, and I think what you're looking for as far as Hell in a Cell goes. Like, I think that I would say this is, I don't know how many Hell in a Cell matches there have been, probably like, at this point, like 50. But I think that, there's like when I think of like greatest Hell in a Cell matches, this doesn't register just yet. Maybe it will one day. Maybe I need to rewatch it again. But I mean, like when I think of greatest Hell in a Cell match of all time, I think like Armageddon Hell in a Cell 2000 with a 6-man Hell in a Cell when Rikishi got chokeslammed off the cage. When Kurt Angle won with a finger on the like that was an amazing match. I think Batista
I did it for The Rock. I did it for family. Yeah.
HBK versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell 04. Batista versus Triple H, Hell in a Cell 05. Randy Orton versus Undertaker, Hell in a Cell, which is one of the most underrated matches, I think. Like that was Randy Orton from like 2000. Okay, Randy Orton, it's a great wrestler, right? But Randy Orton, his earlier from 2004 to 2005 was
the Legend Killer.
Killing it. Like, no, not even a gimmick. I'm talking about them just killing it.
No, that's what I called him, the Legend Killer gimmick. Like that was when he was a Legend Killer in that point in time, when he got that, that moniker. But yeah, he was great. He was good. I definitely liked Randy Orton a lot. Well, I like him in general, but I thought his work was definitely better then.
Yep. MGT asks us in the chat. Oh dear, MGT's asking us to talk about Ric Flair's final match. Trevor, do you want to talk about Ric Flair?
What else do we have to talk about? We have some things to talk about, right?
We do. I mean, we can. No, we have one. We have 20 years of Cena.
Okay. Yeah, I'm talking about Ric Flair's man. Why not?
Okay, I don't even know who he's wrestling anymore
I'm about to
because
say I don't think anyone really knows because there's been like two different reports. One, it was Ricky Steamboat, then Ricky Steamboat dropped out, then it was gonna turn into like a tag match with Ricky Steamboat and a partner and Ric Flair and a partner. Then uh brother.
Matt Cardona said he
Apparently,
wants to face Ric Flair.
yeah, Matt Cardona, Hulk Hogan said he wanted to face Ric Flair.
Oh my god! I love how Conrad is trying to get Starcast canceled, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's just like trying to get Starcast canceled.
It definitely is. So it's been a couple different names. Matt Cardona has been very animate about it on all his social media platforms.
Here's what I'll say: if it is Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan or a tag team variation of that, the chant "Please don't die" is never going to be more appropriate than that match.
Well, first off, Hogan is not going to sell anything that happens. You're gonna come out there and Hogan, you're gonna slap Hogan. Hogan's gonna look at him.
Hogan, that bell will ring, and his back will miraculously make like a 100% recovery. Like there will no like between the bells, Hulk Hogan's body refuses to show weakness. It's insane. Like, he just goes like,
all of a sudden.
It's like Festus, like ding ding ding, oh brother! It's like back in like
he's gonna get brother power.
Brother power. It's like yeah, it's like back in the 80s, like when he ate the when he ate the spinach before his matches.
And he ate his vitamins, chewed his vitamins, and said his prayers.
That was the other thing in the Bash at the Beach, Bash at the Beach Baywatch or whatever it was. Is the other thing. It was like Hulk Hogan was cutting a promo about why drugs are bad and how like the beach or like the rec center helped him stay away from a life of drugs. And I was like, Hogan, I saw your promos in the 80s, brother. You brother, like
brother, that's a lie, brother.
It was a work, brother. Oh my god. All right. Enough. Okay, enough of that. Last thing we're gonna talk. I want to get your thoughts on this real quick. Adam Cole, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, Matt Cardona, all injured. Like we were seeing.
I heard Cardona was injured recently.
We're seeing an epidemic of injuries.
Yeah, I didn't know Cole was injured though. That one I didn't know.
Yeah, Cole is injured. Bryan's out for a few weeks. Bryan actually missed a meet and greet with fans, not like MJF, but he legitimately could not fly to the meet and greet because he was so injured. So, there seems to be a bit of an injury bug going around in pro wrestling. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, someone mentioned, I was talking to a buddy of mine about it. He was thinking maybe it was lack of conditioning, and I said I don't think it's that. I think it's the amount of work these guys are doing. Like these guys are like, let's take Adam Cole and Danielson for example. They're performing almost every show. They're doing meet.
And they go hard. They go hard.
They go completely hard.
Punk too.
Actually, everyone on this list, if you want to be honest, has gone hard for the past year. If
and Cody works house shows now.
Yeah, exactly. Something he hasn't been doing in the past. But like it's so I mean, like if you add that on top of the traveling schedule and things like that, and the fact that a lot of these guys have families, they have babies and things like it's really no downtime. There's really no way to really rest on aggravated injury or anything like that. Like, I mean, it's hard, but it happens, and it's kind of crazy that all these guys are top guys. All these guys are top guys, and it's just it's crazy. It's really ridiculous. It's sad, but we'll see what happens.
Will Washington of Grapsity put out a tweet like when the Cody injury announcement happened, and he talked about how in 2007, like we saw an insane amount of injuries and people being away.
Cena was hurt then.
That was Cena. Yeah. That was Cena. That was HBK. That was Triple H when he tore his quad the second time. I believe Orton got injured. Rey Mysterio was injured. Batista went out with there were a litany of injuries. And on top of that, you have the Benoit thing. On top of that, Lashley was injured. On top of the Benoit thing, you had the people who were suspended for the Benoit thing.
It was a lot. It was a lot.
There were a lot of people. And my one thing, the thing I brought up on Wrestling with Omar, by the way, new show, Wrestling with Omar, where I just talk about pro wrestling. I ramble. I ramble, which is probably why I've been like a little less rambly today. I've which is probably good for Trevor. I've let it out. You know,
there you go.
Let it out.
Outlets and let it out there. Yeah.
Yeah, but so one of the things I was talking about yesterday was the fact that at the end of the day, there is really no excuse for even these guys being out. There's no excuse for either company. They have depth for days. Both companies do. Like, there's no reason for them to really miss a beat. Like, it's time to put up or shut. We talk about next person up, next man up, next woman up, all that stuff. Next person up. Let's see. Let's go. This is where you find out if Tony Khan is actually the best booker in pro wrestling. How you find out if Vince McMahon can still, at his very old age, pull an audible out of his butt. Like, it's time to go. It's go time. We're live, pal. We're live, pal.
Yeah, absolutely right. Because right now, it depends on the severity of the injuries. Like, we know Punk's going to be down for a while. We know Cody's going to be down for a while. We don't know how severe Adam Cole's injury is. We don't know how severe Daniel Bryan's injury is. So right now, it's pretty much piss or get off the pot. See what happens. See who you're gonna put over. Who can stand up?
I need to talk to you. Get acquainted with the Nolans lingo before I go to New Orleans. Because that was. Is that a New Orleans thing or is that just a you thing?
I think that is a Southern thing. But like my grandpa used to say it all the time, and my grandfather was from Northern VA, so he's not.
He always would know, but okay. That's not good. So, that's DC, bro. That's down gallery.
No. He's from like he lived 5 hours away from DC. So.
Yeah. Oh, that's not Nova.
No, I didn't say Nova. I said Northern VA.
Oh, Mo. Anyway, guys. MGT in the chat says, "Hey guys, NXT 2.0 is on. I love you to death, MGT. There is a reason this show is on Tuesday nights. It's because neither of us really give a crap about NXT 2.0.
I used to love NXT. Don't watch it much anymore.
Look, I watched I'll watch clips of it. I love the woke one, Joe Gacy. The woke one, which is like no one else calls him that. I call him that. He's the woke one. Here's this. I like
the gangster too.
Hey, come on, you guys. Here's the thing. I like the idea of Tony D a lot better than I like Tony D.
Yeah,
the idea of Tony D is amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, get Nunzio to be his manager, and we got a winning gimmick right there.
Maybe.
But yeah, I am not a fan of it. Again, it's preference. I don't hate on people liking NXT 2.0. If you like NXT 2.0, watch the hell out of it and.
Because I actually kind of like that they gave Mandy Rose the championship, but now it's kind of getting.
That's a cool part. That's a cool part. And then they're like Malcolm Bivens, jobber, get out of here. The good guy, bigger jobber, get out of here. Dexter Loomis, we literally spent like a year building you up and having you be a centerpiece of the show. Get out of town.
Now you're a jobber. Get out of here.
Get out of here. Indy Hartwell, it sucks to be you. You got nothing to do on TV anymore. Jobber, you're going to get
just there.
Jeez. It'd be like that. Last thing on the docket, Trevor. 20 years of John Cena. Oh my, 20 years have gone by very quickly. Because when I saw this announcement last night, I was like, Wait. 20 years? John Cena? It's been around for 20 years. Look, I know you feel old. Bro, I know
old. You feel old. Yeah, I know you do.
20 years. I cannot believe that I have been alive long enough to process 20 years. Like, I have processed 20 years of life. Like,
Were
fully
you
processed it.
how old were you when Cena was in when Cena started? Do you know?
When he debuted on SmackDown, because
Yeah.
that's kind of what they're going off of. When he debuted on SmackDown in 2002, I was 5.
5. Okay. So yeah, you got to see his entire career.
That was like, yeah, that was like the first guy who's like rise I got to see. Like like people talk about growing up in the Hulkamania. I grew up in the Cena era, and the rise of John Cena was a lot better than I think people remember it being. Like when he like that transition from Dr. Thugonomics to Super Cena was an interesting time. But like when he was like when you talk about the fall of 2003 to him actually winning the title in March of 2005, it's like some of the best stuff. Like it literally is still some of the best stuff I've seen in his career. Like his match with Big Show opening up Mania at WrestleMania 20 is still like amazing.
Still a
like
good match.
No one else could
Still
open up
good
that show. But yeah, 20 years of John Cena, Trevor. Feel old yet?
And I felt old when you told me how old you were. No, too.
Yeah, Trevor was like, I was 35 back in 2002.
Nah, it was a high school graduate in 02. Which is pretty much the same thing. But yeah, like I remember catching tapes of Cena when he was in was it not CZW,
OVW.
Yeah, OVW.
OVW. They seen. Hey man, they Netflix's own OVW.
It's crazy. And man, he was an interesting guy to watch. He really was, especially coming up. Like, never thought that he was going to turn into what he turned into. Like, I loved the edge he had. I mean, it was kind of funny to see him. It's kind of funny to watch his old stuff now and seeing what he became. Like, he became a inner city Hulk Hogan, less racist. But it was
significantly less racist.
It was just interesting to see that transformation. Like, I mean, I joke and tell people I don't like Cena, and that's because I got sick of Cena. Same thing with Hulk Hogan. I mean, I don't joke about that. I don't like Hogan, but I just got sick of Hogan when I was younger, and then like got sick of Cena too. But like,
brother,
Cena has definitely changed the view of wrestling for a lot of people, man. Like, Cena's done a lot for WWE and just wrestling in general. Period.
It's like when Cena comes back, he's just like, it's just like, you know what's wild? Cena comes back and he's just better than everyone. Like it's like actually startling. He just comes back and he doesn't even try. He's just like, Cena comes back, cuts a promo, and you're like, oh, I forgot. He's really good. Like you just watch the segment, you're like, oh, really that's John Cena. He's just that's Peacemaker, man. He's gonna make some peace. No matter how many people have to die. I binge watched all of Peacemaker. Absolutely amazing. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Dude, watching John Cena say cuss words and kill people is probably the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Eagly. If you were a Peacemaker, character, you'd be Eagly.
Yes.
Here, I need to find a paper bag so you can fly over to me. So you think it has chips. What do you think about this, Trevor? The rumor is that John Cena is going to come after the United States title, which is currently being held by one, not Austin Theory. His first name isn't Austin anymore. But he's just Theory, because if you look up Theory on Google versus Austin Theory, you're much more likely to get the result of the guy. Like, yeah. We got to get rid of a name.
So how long is Cena going to be here? Is he making us? Is he going to stay for a while, or do we know?
I mean, SummerSlam is end of July. He's there for a month. Yeah, Cena can. If there's anyone in WWE you trust to build up a 1 month long storyline and carry it,
it's Cena.
Is the guy.
I mean, because what, a year ago? Was it a year ago he wrestled Roman, or was it 2 years?
Oh yeah, no, it literally was last year. Remember we watched SummerSlam together? He
That's what I
literally
thought.
he just showed up and said, "I'm wrestling Roman Reigns for the title." You know why? Because I'm John Cena.
Cena, you don't like it?
You know what? I love that. I actually love that gimmick. I was just like, oh, yeah, because he's John Cena. He's just like, I'm John Cena. I wish Punk had that gimmick in AEW, honestly. Punk just comes up and is like, I'm CM Punk. Like, I'm wrestling for the title. If you don't like it, screw you. But yeah, it's going to be 20 years of Cena. Austin Theory, Cena. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Let's see if Cena can make Austin look good.
It's gonna be something. MGT in the chat says, guys, NXT 2.0 is actually good, consistently good. If you watch it every week, you'll know. I don't.
Like
Here's
I said,
the thing.
I've watched it, but it's like I've said plenty of times on the show before. Like NXT, the reason NXT was so good at the beginning, especially for guys like myself, was it was a promotion with an indie feel. Like it
super
looked
indie.
Like it looked like an indie promotion. Like it was grungy. It looked like it was in a ballroom hall. Like it looked grungy. Now it looks like a shiny turd.
And here's the thing. I want to be clear about this. I don't think it's accurate to even compare the NXT developmental that exists now to the NXT developmental that existed in 2014 when they launched the network and everyone actually started watching NXT. I don't think it's the same type of, like, it's definitely not the same type of developmental. Like, were the gimmicks in the original, like, 2014 version of NXT more gimmicky? Oh hell yeah! Like, but they had just enough great wrestling on the show that it was possible. Like, not that NXT doesn't have great wrestling from time to time. Like, the pay-per-views are still good, but I don't know. Look, I've tried MGT. I've given it the old college try multiple times. I have concluded,
and I'm not even sure what it is at this point now.
I've concluded it's just not for me, and that's okay. I don't need to watch every single wrestling show. I get enough of my crap fill from watching Raw sometimes.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. SmackDown, I can't put my finger on it.
I gotta ask you, like, when the hell did SmackDown become Raw? Like, when the hell did SmackDown become the crappy show? Like,
about 4 months ago.
Why? They literally just.
I can't even tell you why, because it literally is Raw now. Like, I watched SmackDown like last week, and they had a match that I've seen 1,000 times on Smack. It's
Trevor. What's the old Linkin Park song? I've tried so hard to get so far. It got so far, but in the end, doesn't really matter. That's SmackDown every week. In the end, it doesn't really matter. I'll see you next week. MGC says, if it's not for you guys, it's fine. No, yeah. Again, I have concluded that it's just not for me, and that's okay. That does not mean that I hate on people liking NXT. No, if you love pro wrestling, watch pro wrestling.
Like I said, I used to love NXT. NXT was one of my favorite shows to watch for a long time. But it's just, I don't know what happened. It's just,
Yeah, I think so too.
And MGT, to piggyback on something you said, I agree with the whole thing about Matt Cardona. He is probably the king of the indies right now. Like, it is nobody in the indies that's killing it as hard as he is right now, honestly. I mean, there are a few people that you can name.
How dare you? How dare you sully the name of Colin Delaney, the king of the indies? Like, come on now. This is no. This is for who? For who? Zack Ryder? Zack Ryder. Woo woo woo. You're a jobber. Yes. That's why you got fired.
He got fired. That's why he is killing it in the indies. He is killing it.
You know what he's killing? The business is what he's killing. He's killing the business with his crappy promos, his terrible in-ring work, his oh my god, I'm Zack Ryder, the pro wrestler. I'm Matt Cardona, one half of the Pro Wrestling Figure Podcast.
You don't even believe that bull crap yourself.
I do believe that bull crap, as you allege, sir. It's not bull crap. It's a real take fact. Matt Cardona here, Colin Delaney here. Fight me, internet. Fight me.
We have a question to answer, Mr. Colin Delaney fan. Best and favorite heel turn.
Ooh, best and favorite of all time?
I'm guessing. She didn't say particularly, but I guess best and favorite. I'll let you go first because I normally go first.
Interesting. Best heel turn. Okay. Oh, it'd be best and favorite. I feel are two different questions.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Let's go with favorite because like I like that's more personal. So
yeah.
Favorite heel turn of all time. I'm trying to think back because like there was probably
there's been some good ones. There's been some good ones.
There have been a lot of good ones. Now I'm gonna cheat. I'm gonna Google some because I'm just like, let's see, best heel turns of all time. Boom. Hulk Hogan's, by the way, is not my favorite of all time. Don't care what anyone says.
No one's.
My favorite heel turn.
It was probably one of the most popular ones, one of the most unbelievable moments in most people's eyes, but it's not my favorite. It was definitely a moment in wrestling.
The moment in time, brother. Favorite. I don't know. I mean, one that comes to mind. Like I think all I can do is just like talk about. I guess. What's up?
No, my light on my camera was being stupid. Sorry, continue.
I mean, one that comes to mind. This isn't my favorite one of all time, but for time's sake, I'll just say it. I loved the environmental champion Daniel Bryan, like his heel turn.
I thought that was really cool.
We kicked AJ Styles in the you know what, and won the WWE title, and just became the Planet's champion, the heavyweight champion. Amazing. He would go around. It was amazing. He would go around. He would like make fun of the fans. He took the Royal Rumble burger, threw it on the ground, stomped on it. It was amazing. Him and Rowan went to the recycling center. Amazing. Just. He was not a heel, by the way. That is a babyface gimmick. Don't care what anyone says.
Definitely. He's not. No, that was actually very interesting. Like one of my favorite of all time. Man, I will. You know what? For time's sake and other things. And plus, it was the first one I ever saw. Was when Shawn Michaels turned his back on Marty Jannetty. It was one of the first ones that I saw as a kid, and it was impactful. Like they're sitting there, they're not seeing eye to eye. Then they hug and embrace, like, oh, you think they're gonna get back together or whatever. And then Shawn Michaels super kicks Marty Jannetty through a window. Like that was. Like as a kid, I'm like, oh, why did you do that to Marty Jannetty? But no, that was one of my favorites, probably because it was one of my first.
Amazing moment in time, guys. Speaking of time, we are out of it. We'll try to do better the next time. Be sure to follow Trevor on Twitter at Trevertainment. That is at TREVERTAINMENT. Follow me on Twitter at OMERQ Show. OT Graps, a lot of letters, a lot of fun. Follow us on Twitter also at Real Take Sports. Last few things we have in the chat. MGT says SmackDown has not been a better show since after WrestleMania with Roman and the Brock feud. Yeah, I agree with that. CC says, I just read an article today about the top 10 heel turns from past 5 years. And MDT says the Planet Champion, the new Daniel Bryan. You're damn right. Trevor, parting thoughts to the people.
As always, guys, enjoy wrestling, enjoy yourselves. Love those who are far, hug those who are close, and have a good week.
Stay happy, stay healthy, and as always, keep it real.